back! So today we're going to be making something from El Salvador. And I was actually talking to one of my friends and I realized one of the things that El Salvador is known for is pupusas. So I found a few recipes online and I took one which I kind of modified it a little because the thing with pupusas is that majority of them are made with pork and I don't eat pork. So I'm going to sub in chicken. And I'm going to be making two types of pupusas, which is going to be the chicken filling and then the bean and cheese filling. So today, I'm going to show you guys how to make your own refried beans, Salvadorian salsa roja, as well as pupusa chicken filling and the pupusa dough itself. So let's get started.
Alright guys, so we're going to get started with our slaw. And basically what you're going to do is take a really big bowl and combine your sliced cabbage, plus your sliced white onions and your carrots and jalapeno. Now, I shredded the carrots and I sliced the jalapeno. Once all of that is in the same bowl, you can start mixing it up so that, everything gets evenly distributed. And once that's done, you're gonna go ahead and pour over really hot boiling water. Now, this is gonna help the vegetables get a little more palatable so that they can be a little softer for the slaw. Once you've combined them and the hot water is sitting on top so that the entire veggies are submerged, that's how you know you have enough water. Then you can go ahead and drain that water out and start putting in your slaw mix in like any type of big container. I had a really big mason jar, so I just put it in that. Once all your slaw is in a container, you're gonna go ahead and mix in your oregano and cumin into 1 cup of vinegar. Now, this will depend on how much slaw you made. I only needed 1 cup. And then go ahead and add in some salt to give it that nice little flavor. And mix to make sure all your seasoning gets dissolved. And you can go ahead and pour that into your slaw mix. I also add water to this to make sure because the vinegar is not enough. So just add your water and just do your shake, 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 and you are ready. This is best done overnight so that all the flavors can get incorporated really well. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make our chicken filling. So in a heated pan, you can go ahead and start sauteing up your chopped white onion as well as your jalapenos. You can mix them in together. And then once, you've coated them in the oil, you can mix in your garlic and let all those veggies get to know each other. It's just going to be relatively quick. So just mix up the garlic to make sure it's very well evenly coating all the onions and the jalapenos. And then you can go ahead and add in your chicken. Now, I just use chicken breast because I think it will be really easy to shred once the chicken is fully cooked, which is what we're going to end up doing. Because we want to have our pupusa filling be like shreddy chicken. Once the chicken has been incorporated, you can go ahead and add in your seasoning, which is salt and oregano. Mix that in. And add in your tomato paste. This is going to give it a really nice red color, and that flavor is going to start coming out of the chicken and the veggies and the tomatoes. It's all going to start getting incorporated very well together. And you can go ahead and add in your chicken stock as well as your bay leaf. Now you're going to let this come to a rapid boil and then lower the heat and let it simmer until the chicken is fully cooked and so tender that you can just shred it with 2 forks. Now we're going to get started on making our refried beans because, we ain't about that canned life here. So you're going to take a heated pan and you're going to add in your onions and garlic again. Now, these onions were really, really finely chopped just because, you don't want chunks in your refried beans. You want it to be, small. You're going to go ahead and add in your seasoning, which is going to be your chili powder, cumin, and dried oregano, and salt and pepper to mix. I also added in a little bit of cayenne pepper just to give it that nice little kick. Go ahead and mix all of those in, and then you can add in your drained pinto beans. Now, you're going to make sure that all these ingredients get really well mixed together because you want the seasoning to coat the beans. Once the beans have been coated, you can leave that alone for around, I would say, 5 minutes and then add in your salt. Then you're going to go ahead and add in 2 cups of water. You're gonna mix that in and make sure that the beans are, fully coated. Leave that alone for a little bit, and then you can go ahead and start mashing your beans in with a potato smasher. And now your beans are ready. Now we're gonna get started on making our salsa roja. So we're just gonna drizzle some olive oil and coat our veggies in it. So the tomatoes, the white onions, the jalapeno, and the garlic with the peel still on. And we're gonna boil this on high until they get charred. Once they have been charred, you can take the tomatoes whole and just drop them in a blender with the onions, the jalapeno, and then you're just gonna squeeze out the garlic because it's gonna have gotten really soft at this point. So you're just gonna squeeze it out like it's like, one of those tube garlics almost, but this is organic. You're gonna go ahead and blend that up. And then if you needed to make 2 batches because all of your veggies is now filling the first one, you're gonna go ahead and put everything in the next one. Then you're gonna heat up a pan and just put in your salsa roja blended into the pan until it gets like nice simmery. Wash out the pan with some water and so the sauce isn't so thick. And just let that simmer on low heat for a while. Add in your seasoning, which is salt and pepper, plus some oregano, and I also added in some chicken bouillon. And you're just gonna let your sauce simmer on low heat for around 30 minutes. Now we are on to the last part, which is making the dough. Now this is really simple. You get the masa dough, you sprinkle in a little bit of salt, and you mix in water. And that, my people, is legit it. You're gonna blend this until it resembles or it feels like a clay-like mixture. That's, I guess, the best way to describe it because it's not doughy, it's not stretchy or anything. It's just clay and very, very moldable. So once you're at that point, your dough is ready. And we can get started on making some pupusas. Now, I have my hot skillet ready to go. I have flattened out my pupusa dough. I'm gonna fill it with some beans, chicken, and cheese. And I know I said I was going to show you guys how to do the cheese and bean one, but honestly, I ended up making all of mine with beans, chicken, and cheese just because I had so many refried beans. But again, the principle is still the same. You're going to just, put in your stuffing and flatten it out. Once it's flattened out and covered, you're going to just pop it over onto the hot skillet. And I just continued making a bunch of these just because I found out that I could also store them. So, these are a great treat. Again, I'd made them with the chicken, the beef, the chicken, and the cheese. And then, so you might have some that have a little bit of a rip, and that's totally fine. I kind of was working these almost like a Band-Aid. So anytime I saw a little hole, I would take some more of the dough and just put it on. Then you're gonna let the pupusa sit in the skillet for a while until it gets to a nice light brown color, and then you can flip it and mirror the color on the other side, and your pupusas are ready to go. Continue adding in a little more oil as needed because you don't want them to burn. You want them to be relatively fairly well oiled because that is what's gonna give that nice crispiness.
Alright guys, so after all that work, we have our pupusas. So, I had the coleslaw, I don't know how to say slaw in Spanish, but whatever the word is, that has been sitting for a few hours now, so finally it's chilled, it smells amazing. And then I had the salsa roja that I made. It's still relatively hot, but it doesn't matter. So, we're gonna go ahead and dig into our pupusas. Oh yeah, look at that cheese. Oh, it's really hot. Really hot. Okay, let's see. Let's take a bite. Oh wow. So it's still really hot, but this tastes amazing. So the corn is fully cooked with the corn flour, and you can see the chicken, the cheese, the beans, and the whole the slaw adds such a nice crunch to it that it's a really good combination. Wow. But I'm gonna put this down. This was a really good pupusa recipe that I found, so I'm really grateful. And I was really nervous about subbing in the chicken with the pork, but it actually worked out really well, so I'm really happy. The only thing I will say is I feel like I'm really not lying to you guys. I know I said that I'm not a pro chef, but all of my recipes have been relatively tasty. It's also because a lot of the ingredients that I've been cooking with are things I'm already familiar with, so I know like how to portion it well and how to ration it well. So I'm not lying, I promise. And I will have my roommate test this out to make sure that she also agrees that this is delicious. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and if you like this recipe and you decide to make it, please comment below and let me know how it goes. And if you need any help, obviously I'm here for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next week.